blood covenant. He's a very deeply involved in Christianity and the Bible, and very much appreciated this one. Sir. This one said first the covenant in Africa. Okay, he got the call as an evangelist. Then he went to Africa. Okay, Livingstone and Stanley both, went to that one. So then the one illustration of Stanley might help us to grasp the significance. Then this guy's experience is very much we are trying to understand our covenant, Bible covenant. When Stanley was seeking Livingstone, he came in contact with a powerful equatorial tribe, very much primitive and like a tribe. They were very warlike. They like to fight, like a warlike. They are so much like a war. Stanley was not in condition to fight them. Stanley, he doesn't want to fight. He's an evangelist. He's an explorer. He doesn't want to fight. Okay? So this one. So next one. Finally, his interpreter. He doesn't understand the language. He understands the English, but he doesn't understand the language. That's why he hired the interpreter. Finally, his interpreter asked him why he didn't make a strong covenant with them. Good question. Why you don't have any strong like a relationship between a tribe and you? Okay, this one. He asked what it means and was told that it means drinking each other's blood. That the interpreter explained. What do you mean? I don't have a covenant with people, tribe, maybe chief or something. So Stanley revolted from such a right, but the conditions kept growing worse until finally the young colored man, black man, asked him again why he did not cut the covenant with the chief tribe of the tribe. Then this guy asked, why not? Why you are more work and a good job than trying to help people, tribe. Then I understand. But why you can't more like a close to them, then more like another word, friendly, Then so kind of then getting worse, situations getting worse between African tribe and the Stanley and the Livingstone. Then he is an explorer. Then covered the whole African continent. That's what he's calling anyway. But getting worse than this one. So then, so that's why young colored man asked him again. Like an interpreter asked again why he did not cut the covenant with the chief of the tribe. Stanley asked, what the result of such a covenant would be, and the interpreter answered. So what's the result? If we have a covenant with the chief tribe, then everything the chief chief tribe will be yours if you need it. If you got the covenant, you don't worry about the situation now getting worse relationship between a tribe and you. This appealed to Stanley, and he investigated. After several days of negotiation, they arrived at the covenant. So several days, then several days he prayed and think about what's this situation, how he can solve the relationship, African chief tribe and Stanley or Livingstone, this one. First, there was plenty in which the chief tribe questioned Stanley as to his motivate and standing and his ability to keep the covenant. Okay, so that was the first important things. The next step was in exchange of gift. Relationship between you and the chief, something you have to give. Okay. Then the old chief of the tribe wanted to Stanley's new white gold. Stanley was in poor health, and the goat's milk was about he could take for nutrition. So it was very hard for him to give this up. So then the chief offered, give a goat milk. But the Stanley wasn't so strong than the stomach or health conditions. So that's why chief tribe then give it to you. Then he really wants to have goat milk for his health. So then he finally gave up the goat, and the old chief tribe handed him his 7-foot copper wood spear. Stanley, Stanley thought he had been beaten, but he found that wherever he went in Africa with that spear, everybody bowed to him and submit to him. This one, covenant means a gift something, right? So that's why he got the goat milk, then he keep healthy, then okay. So that's why he can't give up then the whole thing. Then he accepted. Then the chief, after accepted, then chief, then he offered then some 7-foot stick with a copper wires go like this. Okay. So then whenever Stanley and Livingstone go to the tribe, they find the tribe, then the people bow down, respect. They got the blood covenant between. So what's actually blood covenant does? Cut the arm and drop the blood, and the other chief tribe also cut the blood, then mix together, go like this, mix together. So then drop down the blood and just receive then the cup or something. So then both drink each other. That's blood covenant. So that's blood covenant. Once you got the blood covenant, then the two people never break any situation. If break something, then you gotta kill. That's much then the actually contract, promise each other, two persons. So that's why Stanley and this Livingstone then finally he got the covenant with the chief tribe. Then he got the stick. Whenever he goes, he doesn't need to worry about. Then everything, then okay. Then the people help. He help other people also. Really open up the heart. Then he explored in the whole Africa. So that's why he become very famous. So that's why even elementary school book history or something like that, you can see Livingstone's name because he actually explored then very non-civilized then all Africa he went to. Then people trust him because of the covenant agreed and the chief and himself. So that's actually covenant. Okay, now here's another one. Okay, what about now? This is a covenant, basic ideas covenant. Exchange each other, okay? Each other blood, this one. Okay, what about the Old Testament? Old Testament, now go back to the Old Covenant, this one. Old Testament, then we just go back. Chapter 17 of Genesis, really talking about Abraham. So this Abraham's, quite interesting experience he got. Okay, chapter 17. Okay, say the covenant of circumcision. Okay, circumcision in the kata like human, then especially man's, men place, then so then the kind of open up then like our heart, then cut the blood, and also Abraham also covenant this ones. Okay, I just read this E.W. Kenyon's book. Among them was the changing of Abraham's and Sarai's name to now. After that, God changed his name. Okay, this one's okay. I'm going to just erase this one. Okay, after God, promise contract with Abraham. Okay, now change his name. This is Adnan, his name. Okay, now and next one's a wife. Okay, wife's name Sarai. Okay. Now contract between Abraham and God, then change the name. This one, God Himself changed. Now Abraham. So then wife's name Sarai to Sarah, okay? Sarai to Sarah. What mean this one? This is what are the change? Abraham, his name, his original name, okay? After he got the covenant, between God and himself, Abraham, now relationship, right? Like the same thing like a tribe, then the African tribe, then the Stanley, so then both covenant, blood covenant, and drink the blood, okay? So now nobody can break the promise of the tribe chief and the Stanley or Livingstone, okay? Now Abraham, then the circumcised, blood come out, this one, Abraham. Now God himself then change name. Changing his name is Abraham. Okay, this H. Over here. Now wife's name Sarai and Sarah. Okay, so me is a Prince of God. This one's a princess of God. What a change. So God changed his name and her name now between Abraham and God and the contract. So that's a covenant relationship. Okay? So then then go back to the covenant. This one's the first covenant, Old Testament, based on Abraham's covenant. Okay, then Abraham changed this one. So this is very, very important. This one. So then that's why Genesis chapter 17 we will just read. Genesis chapter 17. Okay, this one's really okay. Genesis. Okay, Genesis 17 chapter. Okay, then I want you to this one to be and very much clear vision you can get from the Bible. This one. So then also, very important one. Then the Abraham become now Abraham. Sarai become Sarah. Then the Prince of God and the Princess of God and the Prince of God. This one change name. So we call covenant. So you cannot break the Abraham and God. You can break up then the promise. God said this one. Abraham he can't do anything. That's it. God said this one. So that's why then the good example. Then Abraham he likes to stay his actually tribe. Another word, he was born and he raised. He was so comfortable. Then his life. But then suddenly God said, you go, Canaan. Canaan means another, I don't know how many miles, but anyway. So that's time then, Abraham has to listen because he got the covenant with God. Whenever God said, then I have to move, So that's why that covenant actually work. Okay. He's a tribe of the Chaldean. Okay, Chaldean tribe, come to the United States, northern parts and Chaldean, they live together, Yeah. So then God said, move to the Israel. So then since he got the covenant, so that's why Abraham listened, yes, sir. I like very comfortable, this Chaldeans, and this area, then so good. But whenever you said, I have to move, So then he moved. So that's actually covenant, okay? Basically covenant. Now, go to the New Testament. Okay? So this is the Old Testament, Genesis 17, then very clearly said, Sarah and Sarai, this one. So we are talking about what's actually Bible means. Bible is first covenant and the second covenant. Okay. Then I explain to you guys. Then the covenant we received. Okay. Then also covenant is a very much widespread. Use. Last week. Then since Los Angeles and also New York and all the United States, they can't do any public appearance or something like that. So then last week I actually kind of joined and through the online graduation ceremony. Friend of mine, then I told you before, then friend of mine came from the New York, Los Angeles. Then he went back to New York. Then his son, graduated USC, University of Southern California. Last Friday, last Saturday, they got the graduation ceremony. Graduation ceremony, that was also covenant between individual student to the school. School got a very famous, art school, especially cinema photographer, and animation, and very, very strong and very famous in this country anyway. So he graduated cinematographer's, a degree, and also another one's animation. He got the 2 degrees then once. So then he start, school start graduation ceremony on online. Yeah, we just use Zoom or another YouTube, and actually broadcast the whole world, globally. So everybody, because after finishing in the final, they March. This 2020 March, and everybody go home. Some went home in Africa, some in England, France, and some in Japan and Korea. Then many Chinese students, So that's why all that online then graduation. Then first the dean of the department, then the speech, then very nice. So this was more like a type of the covenant, okay? Covenant meaning between school and the student. Then the school said, we take care of you, even a graduate. Your name with USC, University Southern California or something. So whenever you go, you are of course then the students, your name, then the Alan Jasma or Chandra, this Jasma name, but still with USC. So then the USC people, 16,000 graduate alumni night, then the student, so then they help and support you. That's the covenant. Another covenant is a wedding and marriage. Okay, married one, two, man and woman, so they're married. That's also covenant, we call covenant, because a promise and life together. Then whenever then you get sick, then another party then the support, and the other ones then the very much situation, financial situation, then pandemic, then all the laid off. My son also laid off. Then the wife support him. Then they got the covenant each other. That's also contract. Same thing. So that's why in the United States, then Europe, Western world, is a covenant is a very much widely spread. Like I said, the graduation also covenant they got that, and also like marriage, wedding also covenant. So they exchange a ring. Ring mean is never break or something like that. Okay, so then now new covenant. I like to explain the new covenant. We just explained the old covenant. Then next one, the new covenant. New covenant, like old covenant, we call Abraham's covenant, and also Sarah, also the covenant. Okay. Then another one thing maybe add the old covenant. Okay, book of Exodus. This is once you got the covenant, okay, between God and yourself. So how does this one work? Okay. Okay. Exodus chapter 15, verse 26. Okay, I'm going to just read. Okay, 25, 26, okay. Exodus chapter 15, verse 26. Here's the Bible, okay, this one. There the Lord made a decree and, 26. He said, if you listen carefully to the voice of the Lord, your God, and do what is right in His eyes, if you pay attention to His command and keep all His decrees, I will not bring on you any of the disease I brought on the Egypt, for I am the Lord who healed you. Can you imagine? This is a covenant. Covenant means is if you listen. This is the Israel people. They got 2 million people from the Egypt to the Israel. What you call Canaan's place. So then the 40 years, they never had any sickness and disease because they got the covenant between the God and the Israeli 40 years. Because the Israel people listened to what God said. And God see and heard whatever people talk about. So then God did, so beautiful things 40 years, no sickness and disease. This is a covenant, one of the covenant. Then even though that's why I just read this one again. 26, okay. Read again. Okay, this is a type of the covenant in the Bible said this one. Okay. Now, chapter 15 and 26 said, he said, if you listen carefully to the voice of the Lord, your God, and do what is right in his eye. Okay? If you pay attention to his command and keep all his decree, I will not. Okay, here's a last part is very important. Covenant, result of the covenant. I will not bring on you any of the diseases I brought on the Egypt, for I am the Lord who heals you. Another word, can you imagine 40 years left Egypt? At the time, 40 years, long journey, long time. They stay in Egypt. At the time, lots of sickness and disease, experience. But God said, now then, you and me got the covenant. Covenant, promise. Okay? Promise between you and me. That's what God said. So then, if you listen my voice of the Lord, then you never got sick. This is a covenant example. 40 long years, 2 million people never got sick. This is record. But if you don't listen, whenever God said, okay, go this way, then I go this way. Then he said, go this way, I go this way. You don't listen, that's one. So that's case, then the covenant, break the covenant. Just like Stanley and Livingstone got the covenant with the tribe. Okay? But something like Livingstone did something wrong to the chief of tribe, then something even accidentally killed the tribe, like a people, or something against people, then Livingstone has to be died. Okay, because he break the covenant. Okay. Same thing, Abraham's case, same thing. Okay. Then even he, God said this way. He is a Chaldeans, a very nice, rich tribe. Then, but God said, go Canaan. Then, okay, just develop then the whole, Canaan meaning Israel area. Then you're gonna be prosper. You're gonna be blessed. But if you, Abraham then against this way, I don't want to go anyway. Then he never prospered, and he never blessed, something like that. Same thing like now, we go on the New Testament, New Covenant, New Testament. What's actually New Testament? Okay, covenant between Jesus Christ and me, Jesus Christ and you. That's a New Testament. You don't need to circumcise your body. You don't need, because Jesus himself, then he died upon the cross. Then he took all your sins, sickness and disease, everything he took, and shed blood. So that's why, like not the ceremony, this one, but we call Lord's table. Lord's table, then Jesus himself, shed blood, but before he goes to the crossfire, before he died, then the 12 disciples get together, then the second upper room, and everybody sit down, and we call Last Supper. 12 disciples sit, and Jesus said, then he just break the bread. So this bread is a significant of the Jesus Christ's body. So then to share each other, then receive mean is a covenant between Jesus Christ and each one of the disciple. And the next one, then to drink the wine, juice, grape juice, drink this one. This is a symbol of the Jesus Christ, his blood. So then to share each one of the 12 disciples, and I don't know how many people, but at the time 12 disciples, me is Jesus Christ and the 12 disciples got the covenant each other, okay? Covenant and the promise. As long as he, one of the disciples, for instance, Peter, listened then Jesus Christ or God, what's actually he said, what he has to do, something, okay? Then he be okay. Like for instance, then I just open up this one, okay? Bible, open up the Bible, 1 Peter, okay? Book of Peter. Okay, this is a very fascinating, record we have. Open up then the 1 Peter, Book of Peter, 1 Peter, 2:24. Okay. So we're going to together read together this one. Okay. 1 Peter, Book of Peter, first, chapter 2:24. Here we are. He himself bore our sins in his body on the tree. Okay, this was Jesus Christ. Died upon the cross, tree. So that we might die to sin and live for righteousness. By his wounded, by his stripes, you have been healed. Okay? So in other words, Jesus himself took actually cross, on the cross, and shed blood. Okay, this one. This is a blood covenant between Jesus Christ and you. So that's why whenever Jesus said, as long as you got the covenant, okay, how you can get the covenant? You receive and trust him, Jesus Christ, okay? So that's a covenant between. Then he will do. So then you got this case, this is Peter got the sick, or somebody got the sick, right? But Jesus himself, he took your infirmity, your sickness and disease, because then the covenant between you and me, covenant between. So promise and the contract between. So that's why, you got actually healed. Because Jesus himself worked. Because first you ask them, Lord Jesus, I'm a covenant man. I'm a covenant people. Because I believe you, I trust you. Now, covenant relationship between the covenant people. So whenever you just ask him, I'm sorry, then I got the sick now. Then Jesus, you and me got the covenant, brother and the covenant people. So then I believe you heal me, So then God himself says, yes, you just received in the covenant relationship, just like Abraham did. All Israel people, 2 million people, covenant with God. They don't have any sickness and disease. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Good example this time. What's a covenant? Okay, this one. We understand covenant means between God and you and the contract between, right? Open up the Bible. This is a very marvelous covenant scripture. Never forget. Okay, this one. Here is the one. Book of Mark, chapter 11. Two things that I like to explain to this word of God. Book of Mark, chapter 11, verse 12. Okay, Book of Mark, chapter 11, verse 12. The next day, as they were leaving Bethany, Jesus was hungry. Jesus Christ, he's a human being. Then he got hungry. I'm hungry. That's because he incarnated then human being, so that's why whenever human being then thirsty and hungry, then same thing Jesus. Okay. Seeing the distance fig tree, he's hungry. Then he just look at the distance. I don't know how many feet. Then he see the fig tree in leaf. Okay, fig tree. Then I see fig tree and also leaf. So that's why bunch of the leaf and tree you can see. I don't know how big size, but not so maybe big. This one. He went to find out if it had any fruits. Okay, this is very interesting one. Very much pay attention. He went to find out if it had any fruit. He tried to find out that tree he just looked at, and then now I'm hungry. Then where's the fruits? Okay. When he reached it, he found nothing but the leaves. He looked at the tree very carefully, very close to come close to the tree. Then no fig tree, no fig, only leaf. Okay, tree and leaf. That's it. Okay, because it was not the season for fig. This is not the season. Fig tree is normally like a May or June. Like a February. No way. Then you got the fruits. This one. Okay. Then he said to tree. Now he said to tree. What he said to tree? May no one ever eat fruits from you again. And his disciple heard him say it. You know this situation? He just talked to the fig tree. Okay? He just talked to, he's a God, Son of God. You know, he talked to the fig tree. You don't fruit. You don't have any fruit. Okay? You know this one. For the future, no one eat. You know, this is it. No one eat. So that the fig tree never bearing the fruits. That's it. Okay? Because Jesus said, may no one ever eat fruit from you again. He's talking about the fig tree, but you know, then like a human. Then, and his disciple heard him say it. Whenever he said, the disciple listened, disciple heard. This is a very important. Whenever Jesus said, disciple hear, heard. Okay, then, verse 20. Okay. This one's an interesting subject to this one's, then this title of this one's the withered fig tree. Okay? Wither mean is a dry, fig tree. That's me. But previous day, Jesus looked at, everybody, disciple look at, then very healthy, looks like a tree, leaf, full of the leaf and the tree, and everything okay. But the next day, we are talking about this one. After he said, you never bearing fruit, he told, and the disciple listened, okay? In the morning, next morning, okay? In the morning, as they went along, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots, dry out from this fig tree. Next morning, disciple and Jesus went by, fig trees, and that the fig tree dried from the roots. Another mean is the dead. Okay? You got an idea? Yeah. Peter, one of the disciples, remembered and said to Jesus, Rabbi means the teacher. Okay? Look, Peter so excited. Whatever Jesus said the previous day, then the next morning, just, they are walking and look at the fig tree. Fig tree dried out from the roots, means maybe fell down the floor, or dry out. Then Peter so excited. What's happening? Whenever Jesus said, exactly happened. This one. So then said to Jesus, Rabbi, look. Rabbi, why don't you look? The fig tree you cursed, whatever fig tree you said, has withered, completely dead. Whatever Jesus said, okay, that's it. It is covenant. Because the covenant with a promise. Whatever God said, like said that Abraham, he was so very comfortable Chaldean, area, up north Israel, so comfortable. But God said, you go, then Canaan, mean Israel, than the Jerusalem area, you'll be more prosper. You are more become rich. Why don't you go? Then Abraham listened, then the voice of the Lord, and he's a covenant people. He's a prince of God. Yes, sir, I listen. I go. So then he was very, very successful, like a chief tribe, okay? So then the same thing in this one. Jesus himself then said, hey, fig tree, dry out from the roots, okay? Then next day, Peter, so much, surprised and, maybe a little fear or something like that. But anyway, he saw the covenant. He heard the covenant. Okay? So that's a covenant mean. Okay? So if you break something, like I said, the tribe chief break the sunlight, something tribe cheat something Stanley, or he steal something, Livingstone's belonging, then he has to confess, oh, I'm sorry, I break the contract. I break the contract. Maybe I have to die, or I go somewhere, just like a promise, covenant. Japanese, gangster, like a yakuza, same thing. If you promise each other, head of the yakuza, then I break something rule, then cut the finger or something like that, shed blood, then the forgiveness. I'm sorry, chief, I did something wrong. That's a kind of covenant and contract. Same thing like the Bible really clearly said that. Okay. So then the Jesus case, then this one, okay, fig tree situation. Okay, now verse 22. This is a key word of covenant. Okay. So what's actually this one said? Have faith in God. Have faith in God. This is a faith God show and explain. Okay? Because he explained in the fig tree situation, right? Whatever he said, that one, that's it. That's everything. Okay? Same thing like that's kind of the action is a faith. Because he believed God, people believe God and do it is a faith. So Bible said the faith is substance of the things, right? Substance of things, evidence of things not seen. That's a Bible, faith. So then the faith is substance of the things hopeful, like a hopeful. Evidence of things not seen. Okay, that's a Bible faith. Okay, this one's 22, Mark 11, verse 22. Have faith in God. Jesus answered, I tell you the truth. If anyone say to this mountain, go, throw yourself into the sea. Okay? And does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will happen. It will be done for him. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Wow! And when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive him, so that your Father in heaven may forgive you your sin. This was actually really, whatever you say, it's done. So this time, then I use my face, coronavirus, situation. Okay. Then the coronavirus situation then affect my life. Church has to close, and also job, you can't go because of the building closed. Building, you can't go and work in a building, no way. So I pray to the Lord. I pray to the Lord. Exactly this one. Mark 11:22. What kind of the faith Jesus has, Whatever you say, believe it. This one said, very important. Jesus himself said, this one, does not doubt his heart. You don't need any more doubt, because you are covenant, new covenant of the Jesus Christ and you. So I don't have any, interest. I have no interest to break the covenant between God and me. But anyway, I'm a kind of child of God. We are child of God, receive the Christ, the child of God. You can ask whatever you want to. This is a very key word. They said, Jesus answered, what kind of faith you have? I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. If anyone say to this mountain means a kind of difficult situation, coronavirus 19, COVID-19, or family situation, financial situation, kind of, so that's all mountain, mountain. Broke down the mountain for my life. So I just say to the mountain or program, coronavirus, pandemic. Then I just said, and you get out from my sight. You have to, get out, then disappear. Then I can do the church work. I can work a job. I can go to the work. I can make money, and then my health also. Then keep healthy. Then the people worry about the coronavirus nowadays. Then so much test. I did also test, and I haven't got the result yet. But I pray to the Lord. I said, I am okay. No coronavirus attack me. I said that every day. This one, because this was a covenant between God and me. This second covenant, New Testament covenant means Jesus and me got the covenant each other. So then promise each other. He listened to my prayer or my complaint, and unsatisfied this situation, even such a beautiful weather, and the sky is so blue, nice, and especially Los Angeles, downtown, no smoke, then so clear, and downtown beautiful, but no work, nobody working, Now I don't like ideas, Then all our church member and the student stay in the home and online class or something like that. I don't like ideas of online class. Then just open up class and everybody come and just listen to the word of God and understand, like a covenant with each other. That's our happy life. Then that's my, prayer. Then I just pray to the Lord that mountain has to be this mountain. This one see, mountain has to be this one. I tell you the truth. If anyone say to this mountain, difficult situation, pandemic, coronavirus, another test I have to do, all kind of, blood test I have to do, then all kind of tests, then the pain and bad. So this one's mountain. Go, throw yourself into the sea. That's mountain, coronavirus. Go back in the sea. No more, come close to me. No more, you don't come to me and, show to me. I don't need you. Okay, this one said. So go throw yourself into the sea. And does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will happen. Whenever you say, it's happen. So that's why once you got the covenant between God and you, your word is very important. Your believing is very important. Your saying something is very important. That's what the word of God said. Very important. So once you got the covenant between you and God, then God has to listen whenever you are complain and problem in the life. And also then somebody come help you, or you don't know situation, not you do by yourself, something gonna happen. Most of people then just give up then this one. If I got the coronavirus, I can't come to the school because the school won't accept. Whenever coronavirus patient, you can't stand up and come to the school, then talk to the people. I can't do that. So that's why I just pray my prayer. Then the result of the test, I know it's okay. No problem. Yeah. So I just wait. Need a patient. Okay. That's all. That's why faith is a patient. Just wait. Things happen. This one. So that's why this one says, does not doubt in his heart, but believe and does not believe that what he say will happen. What say will happen. No doubt, nothing. I believe, coronavirus never come to me, never attack me, and also never infect me. Not only myself, my wife, my children, and the class, people here, never attacked by the, coronavirus. That's my prayer, my hope. I keep praying. That's what. This is a very powerful, Bible, because a new covenant. We are in a new covenant, new relationship between God and myself. Okay, that's the Old Testament. So otherwise, this Bible never exists. Then the phony, cheating, nobody believe this one. But I believe, or so many people believe the Bible because very clear vision of the covenant of the God God Himself. So then, okay, we just go back. Okay, since we understand the covenant, this one. So almost you understand the covenant? Okay, good. So now next one, then Psalm 91. Another few minutes. We have a still time. Then very important, scripture. Then the Psalm 91. This I love this Psalm 91. Okay. Then also another picture I show you to this one. Psalm 91, verse 1 to 6. Okay, all kind of things happened in the world. Coronavirus hit very strong. Last virus in this country, 1918. Great influenza. You can read a book, very famous book. Then almost 100,000 people die in New York, mainly New York, and also other place. Okay, that's very much a pandemic. Then after that, the spread the whole nation. But nobody knows then why after that then the seas ended down and nobody care. But I believe coronavirus, pandemic, pestilence, then going to die just like Spanish influenza, great influenza. But in the meantime, lots of noise outside. Lots of noise means pandemic, and also you lost a job, and you lost the status of the United States, visa situation, and all kind of this one. But the verse 1 said, but you got the covenant with God, okay? Covenant with God, first covenant. You are inside this cabin. No matter what another one come, then the flood come and all kind of come, but this one's actually stand still. So no rain comes in, no wind blows this chimney, or this is a foundation of the rock. So strong foundation. Even the flood come, never move this one. Okay, this one. So that's why Matthew 7:24 to 28. Just read this one. Then the word of God is very strong. Okay. Then also Psalm 91 and 1 to 6. 1 to 6 this one. And strong fortress. We live in a very strong fortress. Firm foundation. So then we don't worry about it. Noise are so much, wind blow, the windy, rain hit the window, but nothing harm ourselves. Okay, no problem. So that's why very, very, important. Then I just a few minutes, okay. Then just a few minutes, then I like to share. Next week, I, explained again, covenant, as well as Psalm 91's more detail, then help your life, okay? Yeah, that's one. Then also, Stanley and also Livingstone, then did a great job. This is a blood covenant, okay? Covenant means is a Bible covenant, Bible promise, and also Bible contract between you and me. What contract we have? Nowadays, people ignore then the Bible and also God, but we really need more focus to this Bible, this kind of situation happen. Okay. So then the first one, just focus on this this time and only pandemic or pestilence. Okay, this Bible really said 3 places, only just 16 verses, but David, he wrote this book. David, he focused to pestilence and plague, and also pandemic, expedient. Yeah. So then we just read very carefully. This one's very, very interesting passage. This one, Psalm 91. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Almighty God, build this house. We live in, dwell in this house. No matter what another, pandemic and coronavirus and come, but very strong and also stand. This one. So verse 3, this is show the pestilence. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. I'm just reading book of Psalm, chapter 91 and verse 3. This one, first time show that this verse pestilence, pandemic, or disease, or something like that. What's actually deliver from pandemic, deliver from the pestilence? That's what this one's read. Deliver from mean is God Himself. Then what's the deliverance? Last time I explained to you guys, then like a deliver or salvation is a very, very deep meaning. Salvation. Salvation. Next week we will explain to this one more detail. Okay. Salvation is a noun form. Then this one's Greek said this one salvation. Soteria. Explain next week in more detail. Then also save. Save mean is a more verb form, and also sozo. Okay, that's Greek. So this is a very, very deep meaning of the salvation. So that's why as long as you understand salvation or save my soul, you don't worry about then the pestilence or coronavirus or something. You don't worry about it, because God protects you, because you got the save. That's why. Okay, now next one, verse 6. Verse 6 also show this one's nor for the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor for the destruction that wastes noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Verse 8, only with thine eye shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Next one, okay? Verse 9, Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. Verse 9, again, repeat verse 1. Verse 1, we are high place, then more safe place you stay. Okay? Verse 9 also explained that this is high place. What's different between verse 1 and verse 9? Verse 1 is a God himself to talk to you. Verse 9 is you talk to the situation. Just like Mark 11 chapter Mark chapter 11, book of Mark chapter 11, verse 23. Whatever you say, you got it. So that's why first this one scriptures, then the first, he said this one, God is so huge and protect you, So then God himself then said, I'm a shelter. I am a high place. No one, disturb me. I'm here. Okay. So verse 9 said, you talk the situation from yourself. I'm saying God is a big, I'm not going to worry about it. That's what you got to say. That's the second one. Third one, so verse 10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh the dwelling. Verse 11. For he shall give his angel charge over thee to keep thee in all thy way. So people doesn't believe this pestilence or coronavirus. Angel help you, angel support you. So that's why angel work for each one of us. Okay, so that's why you don't worry about it. Okay, so next week I explained the background of this one. Bible background I like to show because June 1st we start, next semester. Then so this is like a Bible background of the Bible. That's what June 1st we're going to start. But before start June 1st, we need preparation. We need to prepare before that. Okay, so that's why I explained more detail about the covenant. Covenant means God promise. E.W. Kenyon is a very, very nice guy. He died and long time ago. Then this is still this book is very much useful for us.